مرحبا. نتكلم بالمالطي مش بالعربي.
مرحبا مالطي.
ماروك ومالطا حبيب، وجيت نتحدث مع حبيبتي. If I were to speak in Maltese, it would be much more closer to Arabic than English, obviously. But I don't want to create a problem for the interpreter. But Maltese and Arabic are so similar, very similar, and I think we should develop even our cultural ties much stronger, because one of the biggest similarities between Morocco and Malta is the history that we've had, so many different cultures, and we are at peace with our past and with our cultures. African, Mediterranean, in our case, a bit of European as well. So having all these different cultures within our society makes us better for the world today. We can understand the world because we are a world, even however small we might be. The diversity that we have helps us to understand the world. It's lovely to be here. Morocco and Malta have had ties for nearly 50 years, for a very long time. We need to develop our business relations in a stronger way, and we think that the opening of the consulate tomorrow in Casablanca will help towards this. And there are areas where we can work together, especially in the world after the COVID, the post-COVID world. It's not that globalization is going to go away, but definitely stronger will be regionalization. And that is where Morocco already, I think, plays a very important role, but can play a stronger role with Europe realizing that simply sending things off to Asia complicates a lot, makes it more expensive, especially with transport costs that are happening today. It makes more sense to have these operations in countries like Morocco and in Africa. And that is where Morocco and Malta can work together, even within the framework of the Union for the Mediterranean, to which we both belong and which we believe in, to give a new momentum to business and economic development in Africa, which we think is crucial for Europe. We would like Europe to understand more that there cannot be security and peace in Europe if there is no security and peace in Africa. The future of both continents are tied together. And however much importance we give to other regions in the world, the immediate neighborhood of Europe is Africa, and that is where both Malta and Morocco can play a very important role. We have a good community of Moroccans in Malta. It's a diaspora of at least 400 people with good reputation, both whether it comes to work and it comes to studying. We will encourage regular employment of Moroccans in Malta. As I said, a good reputation. One area where we definitely can work together in business is the pharmaceutical industry. We have a very strong pharmaceutical industry in Malta in both ways, as regulators a regulatory authority to evaluate the process of how medicine is produced, and then even the laboratories to test that this medicine is of the right quality and that it is authentic. It's not fake medicine. And that is an area where we can share experience, and we will be very happy to do that. When it comes to our neighborhood, we recognize the important role that Morocco is having in the Libyan situation. A lot of good, quiet diplomacy, which yields results. We share your perspective that it's the Libyans that need to solve their situation. We also think that imposing solutions from outside and from top down will not be a solution. We tell our colleagues that you build a house from the bottom up, from the foundation up, not from the roof down. If you build it from the roof down, it will collapse. And that is why several efforts have collapsed. And we call on our Libyan friends to get together and find a way of moving forward politically, economically, and militarily. We think that the Libyan people deserve a good future. We will work together within the European Union, and as I said, please consider us definitely your friends in the European Union, and we can be the interpreters between Morocco and the European Union. We'll be very happy to do that, the same way that we would like you to help us in the African Union. So it's one way where we can work together and where we can understand each other, and we think that the European Union, the African Union, the Union for the Mediterranean, and even the Organization for the Security and Cooperation in Europe needs to understand much better the relationship that there is between the security of Europe and the security of Africa and the security of the Mediterranean. They are completely interlinked, and we need to work on that. Regarding the Sahara, we recognize the efforts that you are making to move forward within the United Nations framework, but to look for a solution and not to keep on jumping on the spot. To walk towards a mutually agreed solution, because we have enough problems on the continent, and the more we manage to solve, the better it will be. We appreciate your support for the Security Council, and again, we will definitely be sensitive and a voice for mediation, for negotiation, for peace. And the last thing I want to say is this, that we are living in quite a difficult world at the moment. A lot of tension, a lot of polarization, and quite a lot of it is coming from, I would say, impatience. We don't have the patience to try and understand each other. And we talk at each other, we don't talk to each other, we don't listen to each other. We just meet and tell each other what to do, instead of trying to understand our culture, our history, our geography, our identity, to be able to... problems are complicated, problems are difficult, but they can be solved. I mean, problems are created by human beings, and they can be solved by human beings if there is goodwill. This goodwill exists between us, and we will build on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
قبل ما تخرجوا ما تنسوش تابوناو في العشان يوتيوب وبارطاجيو الفيديو وديروا جيم وتابعوا الدار على مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي.